Happy Monday, and welcome here to another edition of Husker Online Headlines. It's got a very Vegas vibe in the room as Steve Sipple is ready to roll, as you can tell.
Do we have a Vegas vibe? What is a Vegas vibe?
Just going on a trip. I mean, yeah, we're going to work, but we'll get in tonight and have a free night down there. So we're taping. Here's the plan. We're taping ahead of time on Monday here. Then when we get back Wednesday night late, we'll come in Thursday and do a kind of a recap with the Husker Online show. And then we'll also have a headline show still on Friday. So you'll still get your 3 shows this week. Just going to do it kind of a little bit different on the back end.
What do you have planned tonight there, young fella?
What do you think? I just figured out. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what the place looks like and the Aria Hotel and what I want to do. I don't know.
The place is the Aria Hotel, which everybody says, like all the experts I talk to are like, you don't have to leave the resort.
What are you doing? You jump on me when I'm on my phone. What are you doing over there?
I'm multitasking. I'm finding something on my phone aren't we doing okay?
Yeah, we're doing okay, but
I think I'm multitasking about as well as I've ever done.
That's what you're doing.
How's this? Was I multitasking about as well as I've ever done? What did you say that?
Yeah, but no. Back to the Aria. What did you know about the Aria?
Everybody says you don't have to leave.
No, it's I've stayed there many years ago. Eric Winter, when we re-signed with Rivals back in like 2011, we went out there and that's where we stayed. And we went to a Manny Pacquiao fight. You remember that?
Hello. Yeah, barely.
Sugar Shane Mosley versus Manny Pacquiao.
You went to Pacquiao, Sugar Shane Mosley. Do you remember who won?
Pacquiao
won.
Unanimous 12. So we stayed at the Aria, and it was a new hotel. And I remember walking in the lobby, and like the biggest fights bringing a lot of people. We saw Vince Carter like right on like the check-in desk.
Whoa,
Vince Carter.
Whoa, Vince Carter played like 20 seasons in the NBA.
Yeah. He was the fights bring in all the
give or take, by the way, give or take for people looking it up, give or take. I'm going to guess 22 seasons for our commenters.
But I'm looking forward to the Aria as we set the stage. Let's get into headline one.
Wait a second. I'm surprised by your reaction. You don't have a plan tonight?
Well, I think you got to get in there and get a feel.
Okay. Well, I don't have a plan. I'm not doing anything.
No,
that's my plan.
My plan is to stay away from you because I know you're not going to want to like go out and about. Oh. You'll be down in like old Vegas or something.
I might be. I don't know what I'm going to do.
You're just going to roam around and have like a Sipple look going.
I'm just more interested in you and Robin because you guys usually kind of know what you're doing.
I mean, I'll probably gamble a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. And then Golden Steer tomorrow.
So let's hit the stage. Headline 1.
All right. Sorry. We're going to Vegas, Sean.
Yeah. Big Ten Media Days take center stage here in Las Vegas. So the lay of the land is we get in today. Tuesday, the event will kick off at 1 p.m. Central Time with Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti.
Okay.
Nebraska will take the stage a little bit later. Matt Rule, I believe, is up at 2:30, if I'm not mistaken, with his schedule. And then we hear from Matt Rule again at 3:15, and we hear from players later on at like 5:30 Central Time.
So for the uninitiated, Rule's at this big main podium.
The made for TV. And there was a time in my career where you felt like it was necessary to ask the questions at the made for TV portion. But I find that a lot of like your mainstay people that are really around it, they don't really try to ask the upfront TV questions because, I mean, it's kind of awkward. You have to take the mic, go on TV. Coach, this is Sean Callahan. He knows who I am. Coach, this is Sean Callahan from HuskerOnline.com on 3 Sports. How was your summer? I mean,
you're right. I never got to a point in my career where I felt it necessary to do that. I'm with you. I don't think people understand that main podium. See, I do think people sometimes wonder why are you guys not asking a question when the head coach is at the main podium? Because we're about to get Rule after that for 40 minutes.
Yeah, and you get no flow on that main podium. The main podium is just for the Big Ten Network. And what it comes to, it usually ends up being kind of younger, like college type reporters that want to kind of get up on the TV, and you don't see too many of the main.
No.
Like you're going to see like Andy Staples.
I'm asking you. I'm not. I think once upon a time you might have saw more of that.
Well, I will tell you this: at Big 12 media days, way back in the day, there used to not be a side thing. And I remember when
I don't remember that.
When I used to go to Big 12 media days, what I remember was they would be up for like 45 minutes or an hour. And a lot of times the coach and the players are up there together even.
Why do I not remember that?
This was like when it was like in Kansas City or San Antonio.
Okay, now it's starting to come back.
And then when they would get done, there would be a little window between coaches and everybody would charge the table, and then you would keep trying to ask more questions.
Right. Now it's coming back. God, you're right. It's in other words, it's sort of advanced to a more organized level now, right?
I still would take our earlier years, the Big Ten Media Days event, over what it is now.
Why is that?
Because in the early days, all 12 coaches, then it became 14, but all 12 coaches would speak on the same day. 15 minutes a coach, all in a row. You get them all done. Then you would grab your coach after his session, and you could get him for like some quick beat questions on a side session. Then the next day, they'd come back at 8 a.m, and you'd have 90 minutes. Every coach, every player at the event. So imagine if it was this year, 18 coach tables plus 3 players per team each had their own table. And you just go in this massive conference room and you just walked around and took the table you wanted to.
Yeah, you got so much.
And you had 90 minutes and it was just overload. But I think there was some complaint that for the national people, they weren't able to maybe get the time they needed with all, like if like Rutgers had a good player, no one was going to talk to them because you were going to spend your time at Michigan. Or so they ended up spreading it out to what it is now.
And what it is now is one day, and Rule will
it's 3 days long.
Yeah, for Nebraska. 1 day of Nebraska. They don't come back tomorrow, or they don't come back Wednesday.
Then they had the lunch.
So Nebraska, to be clear, Nebraska's there Tuesday. They will not come back Wednesday. They'll just be there Tuesday. And we will get Rule for an extended period. Also for an extended period, Dylan Raiola,
30 minutes per player.
Yeah. Dylan Raiola, Deshaun Singleton, Henry Latofsky, and Marquise Buford. So we'll have plenty. We'll have plenty of time. We'll have plenty of time. So we'll get a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and the side thing, then we start fall camp on Monday. So a week from today, Nebraska will be practicing. So odds are we won't hear from Matt Rule again until maybe the end of week 1 of fall camp. I wouldn't be.
Ooh, not a kickoff.
Generally, that's not how Keith Mann has done it in the past.
Yeah, he wouldn't have.
I mean, why would you need to have Matt Rule again when you've had him?
Not really. You wouldn't.
So like generally what they have done is, like last year, if I remember correctly, Matt Rule talked on that Saturday of the open practice. And that was like maybe the first time we heard from him since the media days. And then during the week, you might hear from some of the coordinators or players that weren't at media days. But we haven't had the practice schedule yet. So it'll be interesting to see.
Report the 27th though, right?
Sunday.
Yeah. And then practice Monday. So it's on us. It's really on us. It's really going to hit you in Vegas. The off season's over.
I do like how the Big Ten does theirs late. I mean, like the Big 12 did theirs like July 4th week. I mean, it's just a little, I like pushing it up right to the edge.
I do too. I'm with you on that 100%. I just know that when you get there, it's on.
I'm interested how many people will be there. Like, will it be normal or less or more?
You think it would be less because of travel considerations for the extreme Easterners?
Yeah, I think in Indianapolis, the one nice thing was a lot of folks did drive there. Not us necessarily. You could drive.
A lot of Nebraska media did drive.
And but you'd get a lot of like student reporters and student outlets. I don't know if those same kids tied to those Big Ten schools fly out to Vegas.
There's that. Okay, so when Loxley's at the side podium, how many guys are going to be around Mike Loxley, the Maryland coach?
Be a great time to get some stuff. If I bet there'll be 4 or 5 people.
Schiano, Rutgers coach. I mean, how many guys will make that cross country.
Better
trip.
question was, how about USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington? Because we're out west, will that bring in some more people from there?
Yeah, good question.
So yeah, I think this is a very wait and see. If it goes well and people like it, it wouldn't surprise me if they have it back in Vegas again. Maybe not every year, but rotate it.
See how it goes.
But Indianapolis had been where it had gone before, and I wrote this in my rundown column today that the event had grown a little stale in Indy, and kind of to me last year the breaking point was the conference couldn't even line up like a big hotel to like host the media at. Like we stayed at a Hilton Garden, kind of off the path.
It was off the path.
Because there was no hotels available in Indy because there was other stuff going on. And, if you're trying to host a media event,
yeah,
you'd think you'd have adequate accommodations for the media.
Yeah. 100, Sean.
They didn't even have enough rooms. I mean, I remember a lot of people couldn't get a room at the Hilton Garden.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So you think it had grown stale?
Well, I just think that I don't know.
Kind of. I mean, what you liked, I shouldn't tell you what you liked. What I liked was being on the field at Lucas Oil Stadium. You're on the field. I love that part.
What I didn't like though about being on the field was how strict they were. Like you could only bring water out there. So you'd be outside on this field for your 8-hour day, and you couldn't even bring your coffee out there.
No, you couldn't bring coffee. Ooh, now that you mention it though, I'm pretty sure I brought coffee. Coffee.
They checked you.
Yeah. They must have just been
in Vegas. They'll probably be serving drinks in the media room,
which isn't a bad
thing. At the Peach Bowl, when Robin and I went to cover Frost's, went over Auburn that year. The bar was open in the media room in the morning.
Is that right?
And after like the press conference got over, like there were guys drinking mimosas while they were working.
Why not?
Why not? Free. But all right.
So we're going, Sean. We're going to Vegas.
Should be a good week.
God, you'll be there. You'll be in heaven.
I mean, just got to get the work done.
Yeah, and we'll come back with a lot of stuff. That's what I always like about it.
Content collection.
Sometimes, Sean, you'll see me working, and you'll think, "What's Sipple doing with Latovsky so long?" I'm getting advanced material. Do you understand? Maybe not use it that day, but use it for a Sunday column or something like that.
Yeah, it's about the month, not the day.
Or, I'd say about the next 10 days. Yeah.
10 days. All right. Well, before we go to headline 2, Husker Online headlines brought to you by Billings Group. They're a trio of financial advisors made up of Lance and his 2 sons-in-law, Josh and Nate. They're based in Salina, Kansas, and they help clients across the Midwest and beyond make smart, confident decisions about their money. From your first real paycheck to your final retirement party, Billings Group is here to walk you through the highs and the lows. Billings Group, financial advisors by your side for life's journey. Visit them at billingsgroup.com. Securities offered by registered representatives through Client Private Services, member FIRNA SIPC. Advisory services offered by investment advisory representatives through RFG Advisory, registered investment advisor. RFG Advisory, Billings Group, and private client services are unaffiliated entities. All right, let's take it into headline number 2. How will Dylan Raiola be received in Las Vegas?
Well, I know he's going to be received well because he carries himself well. He carries himself in a very high-profile manner. What I'm suggesting to he doesn't need my advice on anything, but what I'm saying to Dylan is just keep it vanilla, big horse. No reason to pop off. No reason to go Diego. What's his name? The quarterback at Vanderbilt, Pavila. No reason to do all that. Talk about national championships. I suppose if you want to, but I don't think you need to. Would you agree that Nebraska's been pretty quiet this summer?
I think so. And part of that is I think Matt Rule has learned the lay of the land here.
Do you think it's been an edict from the top, just saying, hey guys, we're going to have a quiet summer, so no popping off.
I think if you want to grind Matt Rule's gears, like throw out the term off-season national champion.
I think you're right. He doesn't like that. That's not his creation.
No, and so I think he even like from the YouTube perspective,
right?
You're not seeing as much being thrown out there and
by
the content creative team.
Right. by Nebraska.
No, but they've done stuff like, but when they've kind of just kept it quiet this summer.
Right. So back to Dylan. You know this too. I think I can paint this picture for you a little bit. He'll have a lot of opportunity to let his guard down because he's going to be at that, we keep calling them side podiums, away from the main podium. You say 30 minutes, it always gets to beyond 30 minutes. And then some guy will grab him or some woman will grab him afterwards. There'll be a one-on-one interview, and then there'll be another one-on-one interview. And then it goes on and on. He'll do all these interviews. And Dylan is very accommodating. And what I would tell Dylan, if he were sitting there, I'd say, Dylan, you're accommodating. Don't let your guard down, though. I mean, don't do a Frost. Frost is 50 years old. Frost is Scott is 50 years old. He let his guard down at the Big 12 Media Days. And what happened? It started a fire.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they clipped a comment like he said there, and boom.
See, you see what I'm saying?
Created a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like for Dylan, since Ohio State's going to be there, their media too. So you might have Ohio State media try to get him to talk about Ohio State because he was going to go there and play for Ryan Day.
Sean, that's a great example.
And, you don't want to fall into a trap of an Ohio State question.
Yeah. Don't get there could be a number of things, right?
Or if you just say, oh, God, I loved Ohio State, but, Nebraska is where my heart is. My dad played here. And
I think you'd agree that there'll be some traps for the young quarterback. Somebody will, and I'm not saying that the media sets out to set traps. Sometimes they do it sort of unwittingly, but there'll be some traps that he could fall into. So I would say it to Henry Letofsky, Marquise Buford, and Deshaun Singleton, keep your guard up.
Now, Marquise Buford's not a part of the up front. He's working in a media role.
So will he be available for interviews?
Sure.
Yeah.
But he's not a part of the official.
Right. No, I know. I just mentioned his name because he'll be there. But Dylan's the big one because he's the QB. And Dylan, wouldn't you agree? He's pretty high profile. And he conducts himself that way.
Well, and there is no doubt he will walk into that room with probably the best looking suit or he'll have the nicest looking suit of anybody.
Yeah. And he's not getting his haircut at Cost Cutters. I mean,
no.
It's gonna
look like a pro walking in the room.
Yeah.
100.
Well, these guys are pros, but yeah, but I see what you're saying. He's high end.
Like it will be a flamboyant high end suit. No, that fits his style. Hold on.
It's not like Don King walking in there. Flamboyant? You might be right. What's flamboyant to you?
Well, I know the other guys, like Nebraska helps get them their suits. Like it's part of they can do that with the student athlete assistance funds and things that are out there. So a lot of the players will go to a local suit shop here in Lincoln.
Okay.
Dylan, I think, went to his own, family personalized tailor. So it'll be interesting what he rolls in with.
Okay.
The shoes too. I mean, a lot of guys don't wear dress shoes, so they kind of wear.
They go tennis shoes.
Frost did that.
Don't get me started, by the way.
I don't do that. I can't pull that off.
Don't get me started. You could pull it off.
There's things I can't pull off. 5-inch shorts.
Why would you try?
You tried? Shoes with shorts?
I don't know what.
Or shoes with suits?
Yeah. Shoes. Anyway, Dylan's going to get peppered. I don't know what people are going to ask him that would get him in trouble, but you raised a good one. There's just, how it goes. There's a zillion questions. There's a zillion questions.
And there will be with Ohio State there too. There will be a lot of media the day one.
Yeah.
The Big Ten wisely kind of spreads out the teams. The LA teams are last at the very
smart.
And then, the Ohio State's first. So you can't really miss the first day.
Here's the thing about Dylan. I like talking about this stuff. You would agree, I think. He's really intelligent. I mean, and you would also probably back me on this. He usually keeps it really vanilla. Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah.
Dylan never strays too far from the vanilla. He doesn't.
He's not going to pull out one of those. Now, listen, this might offend some people.
Right.
But
right.
Then.
Right. Exactly. Not that kind of thing. Dylan's not going to probably predict a national championship, anything crazy. Like like Diego Pavia. I hope to God I'm saying the Vanderbilt's quarterback's name right.
Pavia.
Yeah, he said I'm here to win a national championship. And it just sounded kind of crazy, right? And it would sort of sound crazy if Dylan said it, but it just wouldn't do any good.
No.
So
you just put a huge target on your back.
Bam. And that's what I also say to Dylan. Don't put a huge
It's
target
like when
on
Scott Frost said that Cam Jurgens, when he first moved to center, could be better than Dave Remington.
Target.
But the reality now is Cam Jurgens will go on to be a better center and pro than Dave Remington ever was. But
that's an interesting take.
Well, the money,
it's true.
The money, and he's going to be on the best offensive line as
well. Look what he just signed.
But you can't say that like before a guy gets that point.
No. So, I mean, but the bottom line is Dylan probably knows what he's doing here. I just think in this sort of setting, you can get lured into relaxation that leads to loose lips. You've seen it. Because there's all kinds of opportunities, I hate to go back to Frost, but that's what happened to Frost. Just didn't have his guard
in a side room, though. It wasn't
right side room. That's where that stuff happens. Though probably won't happen at a podium.
No, podiums tend to tense people up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, well, let's take it to headline 3. We're brought to you by HelloFresh here on Husker Online Headlines. If you've not tried HelloFresh, just a great way to kind of organize your diet, your food and cooking at home. And they make it so easy. They have so many great recipes and options. They give you over 50 plus options a week, depending on the kind of diet you want. They have different recipes out there. And then you pick the meals you want. I want 2 meals this week. I want 3. It's for 2 people. It's for 4 people. It's for 6. You tell them exactly the number of people that you want to cook for. Then they send it all right to your house in a cooler right at your front door. And they just make it so simple, because a lot of times you want to cook at home, but you either don't have the things that you need to cook,
right,
or you don't have the time to go to the store. So they do that for you. They give you what you need, the spices, the produce, the meats, everything on a recipe card, fresh, never frozen, right at your door. And voila, you've got a couple of great meals that you can cook for your family that week. And if you've never tried HelloFresh, we've got a deal with Husker Online. We're going to give you 10 meals with a free item for the life of your box. Just go to HelloFresh.com/Husker10FM. That Husker10FM stands for 10 free meals. Again, that's HelloFresh.com/Husker10FM, and you'll receive 10 free meals and a free item in every box. HelloFresh.com/Husker10FM. One per box with an active subscription. Free meals are applied as a discount on the first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring us here on Husker Online Headlines. But Steve Sipple, the official Big Ten media polls came out. There were 24 voters in the media. I was one of the voters this year that voted for the Cleveland.com poll.
Good job.
And that came out. Penn State edges out Ohio State with 11 first place votes. They are picked the preseason favorite over the national champion Buckeyes, Oregon 3. Now, this is one where we both agree, but your outside kind of 10,000 foot view fan was putting Michigan as that 4.
Most.
The media goes Illinois 4.
Yeah, if you look at a lot of the preseason publications or just the random polls that come out elsewhere, it's usually pretty stock. It's usually Penn State or Ohio State number 1, Oregon 3, Michigan 4. So Illinois gets some respect here, Sean. And you had them in your poll. You had Illinois 4.
I did, yeah.
Because why?
Well, okay, a year ago, Illinois beat Michigan 21-7. They returned their whole team, basically.
A lot of it, yeah.
Like 18 or 19 starters. So for me, it was like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Illinois just hammered or beat South Carolina, who was looked at to be a playoff team. Michigan did beat Alabama, to be fair, and Ohio State to close the year out.
Be fair.
But
That's interesting. Now that you mentioned,
They lose a lot of players. They lose all those draft picks on defense.
They lost a ton.
So I'm okay with Illinois at 4.
Okay.
Michigan 5.
God, Michigan did close hard last year.
Indiana at 6. And, I think that's fair because it's still unknown. But
stop on Indiana real quick. I heard Phil Steele yesterday on a Sirius.
He was on there for like a half hour. I heard that too.
And he said that Signetti told him that Signetti told him that Indiana has more talent than last year. The schedule's tougher, but it's not a horror. It's not a horrible schedule in my opinion. They start with Illinois. I'm not going to hijack the conversation. Just one thing. They start with Illinois, then they go at Oregon,
it's Iowa. It's on the screen right here. Illinois, Iowa, Oregon.
At Iowa, at Oregon. They have to come through that. Now that's going to be interesting because those are 3 physical games. So there you go. Indiana, let's see.
But they'll be 3-0 to start the year, which helps them kind of build their momentum, which they did that a year ago.
They're going to need it.
And they can be 3-0 with that huge Illinois game. But yeah, Indiana.
Huge.
So where I was different on the poll, I had USC at 7.
Okay.
I had Nebraska at 8, and then Iowa at 9.
So just mix those up in a blender, basically.
Yeah, and look, we're not talking about much of a difference here. Washington comes in at 10. I had Minnesota over Washington.
Okay, so flip them.
I just think, and Wisconsin's a tough one because 12 is generous for them because of their schedule.
Good point.
Are you ranking them as an overall team,
right,
or based on what the schedule is going to do?
I don't know. When I would do this, and when I have to do it, I always kind of mix that in my brain. You kind of have to. It's not one or the other in my brain. I just kind of mix it. Keep going.
The one that I definitely didn't have, Michigan State at 13 is way too high.
Oh, way too high, really?
Yeah, they're rebuilding.
Yeah, they don't have much.
I mean, I'm going off.
No, they don't have much. The reason I react like that, Sean, it's Michigan State. Like what's going on? What's going on when Sean Callahan is on a program saying Michigan State is way overrated at 13? D'Antonio, what happened there? I mean,
UCLA.
I know D'Antonio's long gone.
Is low too.
Yeah, I know, but what do you do? That's the league you're in, Sean. That's a rough one.
Remember, our buddy Mexico Mel left him in a tough spot in East Lansing.
He did. But man, you're on here saying 13 is too high for the Spartans. Remember when Michigan State was really good?
That's the danger too of
it's a playoff team
not having divisions.
Right.
Because it makes you fall in line 1 through 18. There's no kind of hiding under a division tag.
100%, Sean.
Like it makes it way harder.
Oh God, yes.
So that's the poll. Couple other notable things we voted on in the media poll. Jeremiah Smith received 21 of the 25 offensive player of the year votes. Drew Aller received the other 4, Penn State quarterback. Then Nick Singleton, 3rd, Mekhi Hughes, Oregon running back, 4th. Katron Allen, 5. So Penn State has 3 of the top 5 offensive players in the Big Ten right now.
Hence their position atop this poll.
Defensive player of the year, Caleb Downs gets 22 of the 25 votes. Danny Dennis Sutton from Penn State, the DN, got 1 vote. He's 2nd place by a long distance. One other player that did receive first place votes that finished 5th was Makil Kamara from Indiana.
Big time rush in, Sean.
Dylan Tiedemann now at Oregon. You got to get used to that. He left Purdue. He's the 3rd on that list.
You love him.
He's a great player.
Yeah.
And then coach of the year, James Franklin edged out Brett Bielema.
Okay.
In a 10-9 vote. And I think you can make a case for either one of those guys right now going in the preseason.
You're more bullish on Illinois and Bielema than I am. I wouldn't vote him preseason coach of the year. They got too much to prove. Franklin's got Penn State in a position to win it.
But
win it all, Sean.
If Ohio State gets 11-1 on this team, which they're probably expected to do, I mean, you got to give Ryan Day a lot of credit.
Yes.
Because it's not easy to do that.
Oh, staying at the top.
If
really
Sharon
hard.
Moore would pull out like a 10-2,
yeah,
he could easily get it.
Definitely.
Lincoln Riley. No one voted for Lincoln Riley, but if Lincoln Riley resurrects USC to like 9-3 or better, he could get it.
How about Matt Rule getting Nebraska to 10? What if he gets them to 10? If he gets them to 10, he'd be in the discussion.
Yeah, it's kind of silly to make votes on this stuff, but
I don't know. It's a rite of passage, and 7 a.m. this morning it broke, and you're ready. Were you ready for that?
Yeah, and this is the first time since 2014 that neither Ohio State or Michigan is not the favorite to win the Big Ten.
Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's a good stat.
They edged out Ohio State. Penn State was picked to finish first in the regular season. The vote was practically split on who wins the Big Ten title game. Ohio State did edge out Penn State 13-12 in who wins the title game.
Oh, really? I mean, those are at the top of the league. It's really hard. Oregon's right there. I go back to, I don't know why I'm kind of fixated on that Indiana. Those are 3 physical games. Coming through that gauntlet's going to be tough because this league is so physical, and those teams at the top are Sean. They're really physical.
Well, and this is why you need to play a 9-game schedule in the Big Ten, because I don't think 8 would give you enough to like really know enough. I think having an extra league game with an 18-team league helps at least.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Clean up the standings.
Yeah, totally. That's so in an 18-team league, I think you do have to have 9
without
games.
Divisions.
Yeah,
I mean, so there's a lot of, I know
you're looking at representatives, a representative layout, right? Something that, yeah, it's more representative. I get you.
All right. Before we go to headline number 4, Steve Sipple.
Larson Motors.
Brought by who?
Sean, this is a Larson Motors time here. If you're looking for a new vehicle, how about going to Nebraska City? If you haven't been to Nebraska City for a while, go to Nebraska City, go to Larson Motors. It's one of the Midwest only dealerships with all the major brands in one location. Finding your new Chevrolet, GMC, Hummer, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram, it never has been easier. So start your new experience today at LarsonMotorGroup.com or at Larson Motors in Nebraska City. Larson Motors, real people,
real deals.
Nice job.
All right. Well, it's time for another installment of one of our favorite summer activities, Mayhem Monday.
Summer activity. Is this a summer activity?
It's like our summer camp. My wife takes the girls in the morning to a camp. On Mondays, we get Mayhem Monday, baby.
Love this.
It's a fun activity in the camp shelter here.
What are we doing today there?
So we're going back to 2017. This is your idea.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska goes on the road to play Oregon.
It was mayhem.
And so we go out there to Oregon.
Mayhem.
2017. It's Mike Riley, Tanner Lee, Bob Diaco, Billy Devaney. Sean Eichhorst was still gainfully employed at that point. But they go out to Oregon and, 25,000 plus Nebraska fans.
Are you going with that number?
Yes.
That's a big number because it doesn't seat that much, but okay. You remember?
No, don't you remember?
You're right. No, you're right. It was loud, Nebraska. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just glad. Sometimes when I do that, you're just refreshing my memory.
I'm just going off what the published report said at that time.
Okay. Keep going.
But they go out there,
the scene,
and it's going to be one of those games where there's just red everywhere in the stadium. Nebraska fans love traveling out west, and you can't. I mean, I'm looking at some of the pictures from the past, but the entire sideline of Nebraska is red. So it's set up for kind of a breakthrough game for Mike Riley.
Yep.
Trey Bryant the week before has a big game against. Who'd they beat? Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois had 31 carries for a lot of yards. Yeah.
But they go out there, and this is Bob Diaco's big opportunity to kind of show who he is. Well, what happens? Nebraska gives up 42 points in the first half.
They were down 42-14. Now you're in trouble, right? I mean, you think, I know what I was thinking in that outdoor press box. Remember outdoor press box, by the way? Sweet. I mean, open air, we'll call it. Open air.
It was roofed, but it was.
Yeah, roofed. Ungodly good spread. I mean, the buffet was incredible. But anyway, 42-14 at half, Diaco. What's going on? I mean, Justin Herbert's just lighting you up. Remember, they had a guy named Was his name Schuler?
This is a Willie Taggart Oregon team too, and he was only there.
Brendan, hey, one second. Brendan Schuler. I remember Brendan Schuler. Yeah, it was Willie Taggart's 1 year at Oregon.
Yeah, Justin Herbert, though, was the quarterback.
Yeah, Herbert.
I mean, he's a dude.
He was flinging it around to the tune of 42-14 at half. But then what happened, Sean?
Royce Freeman at running back.
Yeah.
But then Nebraska charges back in this game. Tanner Lee.
Unbelievable.
You know, the stat that killed them, though, is Tanner Lee threw 4 picks.
Threw 4 picks. They got the ball. We'll just start from the back. Nebraska got the ball with 2:47 left, down 7. Okay? They're in business. Excuse me. Wilbon scored. Mikhail Wilbon, scored on a 2-yard touchdown. Yeah, Mikhail Wilbon, forgotten running back in Nebraska lore, gets a 2-yard touchdown with 2:47 left. Then the Huskers' next drive, they got the ball with 2:17 left. Defense.
They forced a 3 and out.
Yeah. And on the first play, Lee was picked off by a guy named, I can't pronounce his name, but it was just, they were there. I mean, Nebraska.
Ugachukwu Amadi.
Yeah. Nebraska made it not only a game, but was in position to win it.
But there were a few things that game really solidified.
What?
Like, as you look back at it now, that Bob Diaco was going to be a disaster. It just was not going to work. I mean, you blow out Mark Banker, who had a pretty good defense the previous year.
He did.
And then you give up 42 points in the first half at Oregon. But then you shut out Oregon in the second half. Like, it just
mayhem.
And then Tanner Lee, who, by the way, is still like the only quarterback that's been drafted from Nebraska in like decades, threw 4 picks. It just wasn't going to work with him. And then what happens the next week? Well, go back to Diaco
for a second. Yeah,
let's go back to Diaco because we were still getting to know him a little bit, but I'll never forget how like he would be dressed as nice as anyone I've ever seen after a game.
That dude could dress. What did he have on after that game?
He had a customized suit with like a black shirt pocket square.
Yeah, black shirt pocket square, perfectly placed.
And it was, this thing fit him like a glove.
It did. And that you also remember, I don't know if you're standing there when I asked him. Okay, so I'm standing there. This is one of the best Mayhem Mondays ever. We're covering this game. It's over now, and we're doing our post-game interviews. And I have to keep reminding myself that they lost because the vibe was of a team that won, which is a red flag for a program. When you lose and then the vibe is sort of okay.
Because they charged back.
Right. That's a bad sign. But anyway, so I'm talking to Diaco, and it's a good vibe. So I thought I'd go for it and ask him for his cell phone number. I need to coach.
Got shut down.
Got shut down. He goes, no.
That hadn't happened to you since Columbus High School days, probably.
He said, it was funny. He goes, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
He was about as unapproachable as I've ever dealt with at Nebraska. Like, you couldn't approach him.
Come on.
Like,
I don't know.
He wasn't going to you couldn't just have like conversations
Not
with
really.
him.
No, you're right. I'm trying to push back, but it's hard to do.
Like, you couldn't be like, hey, coach, you been to Laszlo's lately? Or just like
right.
something like small talky.
I was trying to. No, you're right. You couldn't really do it.
But then what happens
He wouldn't let you.
No, and I don't think he wanted to talk to the media at all, but they kind of made him.
So, yeah, those things were going on. It was mayhem out there. Riley, one other thing, Riley was back he's back in Oregon where he played high school football at Eugene, and he knows a lot of people. And there was Riley, like doing his,
family thing,
happy as hell. And again, I had to remind myself, there's Riley over there smiling and laughing and hugging all these people. They lost the game, Steve. They lost this game. They didn't win. Write your column as such. I kept having to remind myself that. Okay, then what happened, Sean?
The next week, they get beat by, actually, it was Northern Illinois that beat them. They beat Arkansas State week 1.
Yeah, Nebraska beat Arkansas State by 7 on week 1.
and that was close.
That was crazy enough, yeah.
And then week 2, Oregon beats them by 7.
Crazy game.
Then week 3, they lose to Northern Illinois on that same week. Sean Eichhorst, and we've done a Mayhem Monday on that game, I think, now that I think about it, but Sean Eichhorst
we did
announced as well the Black Friday Iowa game was no longer going to be on Black Friday. But yeah, they fired Sean Eichhorst was fired, which that essentially ended the Mike Riley era.
Right.
That
we talked about
over.
how Eichhorst came down after the Northern Illinois game in the media area and did interviews, which was a huge anomaly, which we haven't seen since. We never saw it before that. So that was all very odd. By the way, this Mayhem Monday, back to the Mayhem Monday topic. This was it for Trey Bryant too. He had a big, you mentioned the big first,
never came back.
First game he had again was Arkansas State. 31 carries, a bunch of yards. In this game, he ran for 107, got hurt early in the fourth quarter, never came back.
He tried to return under the Frost staff, and then he ended up having to give it up.
He was his knee was ravaged. Somebody told me once he had the knees of like a 70-year-old man. It was not good, and they kind of ran him into the ground a little bit. But I don't know that there's anything you could do. He had 107 yards against Oregon, looked really good before he went down.
And we'll go back to Oregon here soon. I know it's on the schedule on the new Big Ten, but that was a unique trip.
Yeah,
because I had never been to Oregon before.
It was really unique.
One thing I'll never forget is, for whatever reason, Uber and Lyft, at least back in 2017, were not allowed in Oregon.
Is that right?
Like the local politics blocked Uber and Lyft from operating, and it's probably different now, but you had to call a cab.
Is that right?
Or use a cab company.
Yeah, I wonder, that must be different now, right?
I hope. Because we got there and we didn't know that.
Yeah.
We had to figure out how to get to our hotel.
Yeah. That's part of the mayhem. That was, that trip and that game in particular, that was, when I think of mayhem, that's what I think about. Being down at 42-14, Diaco after the game. I still think a lot about Trey Bryant. That's it. That was the end of his career. He's a pretty good running back at Nebraska, but he just banged up. I think about that. I think about how loud it was. God, it was loud. Whoa, it was loud in that stadium.
Yeah, Lisa, here's a funny Oregon story for you. So Lisa went on that trip with me.
Your wife.
Yeah, and she wanted just like a Diet Coke in the morning. So I went next door to like this little earthy kind of grocery store marketplace in downtown Eugene.
Earthy.
And I asked if they had any where their Coke was at. The lady goes, "We don't sell that in here." And I'm like, no, like Coca-Cola. Like Coca-Cola.
She thought you meant
yes.
You do look a little rough.
A lot of things fly in Eugene is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I was like, where's your guys' Coke at? So we don't sell that in here.
I don't need anything. I don't need anything that makes me fly. I just need a can of Coke.
Just need a can of Diet Coke.
Mayhem Monday.
All right, that was a good one. We'll have some Vegas stories when we get back for sure.
Hopefully we won't have any mayhem, Sean.
Let's get into the final headline 5 before we get to that. Again, HuskerOnline at the K is coming up.
Yes.
And I want to use this opportunity to talk about, we've got a great partnership. We're working with the Royals to help get Husker fans group ticket pricing and discounted parking. A lot of you are going to be at this game at Arrowhead Stadium on the 28th. Well, the 29th is Husker Night at the K. You will get a windbreaker as part of your gift that you opt in at the purchase of your ticket. It comes in 2 sizes, first come, first serve, medium or extra large. But we've sold hundreds of tickets because of this group ticket pricing promo. So we're hoping that we can help push more Nebraska fans and get them better deals on their tickets at Husker Night on the K, August 29th. The Royals take on the Tigers, the first place Detroit Tigers. And that's always been a popular game for the Royals when they do the Husker Night. They're going to do it the day after this game at Arrowhead. Go on our show bio on YouTube. The link is in the description of the show. You can click on it there. And that will take you to get your discounted tickets with Husker Night at the K. And we've had some people order more than, a larger number, and they can email Zach Everts there His email is on there as well. So get your tickets. We hope to see you at Husker Night at the K. But it's odds and ends as we put it in. How about Dylan Raiola? He held a youth camp at Lincoln Pius.
Saw some TikTok
on Friday.
Looked good. He looks
or on Saturday, excuse me.
Yeah, he looks to be in great shape, by the way. And he's very natural in that setting. The kids love him. He just does that. I don't know that was there media presence out there.
Photojournalists and video. I don't think it was like a
interview opportunity.
Yeah,
you wouldn't want to go out there for that. I don't think.
No, I mean,
we're gonna get him here for 40 minutes.
But a lot of players were out there helping. Huge crowd. It looked like a wonderful event. Then on Sunday, the 13th annual Nebraska football road race and fun run had 800 participants, and the proceeds from that event go to the Nebraska Medical Center at the university here for pediatric brain cancer research. And that was something 13 years ago that a group of players led by CJ Zimmer helped kind of start. And they've done this now 13 years.
Wow, that's beautiful. Carter Nelson, by the way, ran in this. Just saying.
You can do a 1 mile fun run or the 5K.
Yeah, one time Adrian Martinez tells a funny story. He did the 1 mile fun run with a kid wanted to run with him, and the kid was fast and ran a fast mile. And Adrian said, I had to keep up with him, and it wasn't easy.
What you learn about runners is there's 5th, 6th grade kids.
Yeah, they can run.
They can turn out like a 6-minute mile.
Yeah, Adrian running a 7-minute mile is not a given.
No.
You can do it, but you got to work to do that. You do it.
I'm not trying.
7-minute mile.
So a couple of years ago, I went 6:45.
That's really good for a dude your size.
I'm more like I'm not at that level right now. I'm probably
it's hard
I'm probably
to do that.
I'm probably like a 7.5, 7:45.
That's still really good.
But it takes a lot out of you.
I know. I mean, the problem I started running into, I ran for a long time. I could roll out of bed and run 12, but then it got to the point where I couldn't run a 10-minute mile. Just legs, knees, hips, bad.
To get to that 6:45,
Jesus.
I mean, that was going like 5-6 days a week.
Yeah.
Training, eating right.
Yeah. You're
going to bed early. I mean,
try it. If anybody thinks just try that. Try doing it. Try running
235, 240 pounds.
Yeah. Or 170. I mean, whatever. Anyway.
All right. We'll hear from Tony Batiti.
Yeah.
And I wrote in my rundown, he's kind of got like this silent assassin approach to him. Like he knows he's got a good hand of cards. He's paying his teams $10 million more per team. They've won the last 2 national championships as a conference. The Big Ten right now has never been in a better spot in a long time. I mean, you think about just the Big Ten in general. I mean, they had a heck of a offseason by winning all those bowl games. They beat Texas. They beat Tennessee. They beat Alabama. They beat South Carolina. They beat Texas A&M in bowl games head-to-head. 5 Big Ten over SEC bowl wins.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but he gets to swing kind of the final hammer in this whole playoff discussion, right?
Right. And they'll stay at 12 if they can't get this thing figured out. That's what we've kind of learned. And figuring it out is at least getting to 9 games.
Getting the SEC to play 9 conference games.
But if the SEC would say, well, we want to stay at 8 and do auto bids, I'm sure the Big Ten would do that too. But if the SEC is like, we'll go to 9, but it's 5 plus 11.
Then what?
But
then what? Sean, I ask you that question. What if the SEC says we'll go to 9, but we want to play 5 plus 11?
I think they'll do it.
You think the Big Ten would acquiesce?
But the thing about the 5 plus 11, and this scares the hell out of the SEC, is it's going to create a mash of 6 and 6 and 8 and 4 teams. It happened in the Pac-12 when they first went to 9 games. When you don't have where the Big Ten has been doing this for a while now, but Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan's, those teams tend to kind of pull ahead and still be playoff teams. I think the SEC, you're going to have a lot of teams that would fall like 8 and 4.
8 and 4, and then the fear is people won't respect that SEC schedule enough, and they'll fall out of the playoff.
It happened to the Pac-12. Once they went to 9 plus a Power 5 or even 2 Power 5 non-conference games, you started to look at that league differently, especially when Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh left the league.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
And Chip Kelly left the league. I mean, the whole league fell apart. But think about what the Pac-12 was with Chip Kelly, Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal league.
Yep. It's gone.
And it's gone.
I'm almost surreal when you're talking like that. It's almost surreal to me. It's gone.
They lost their TV deal. They lost their great coaches, and they didn't get any money.
Lost some great players.
And they lost all their players. So, yeah, that will be a big topic.
Hey, Sean, think about it. We kind of, I don't know. It sort of goes without saying, but I think about this stuff. Petiti has to choose his words so carefully. I mean, he's not going to get up there and wing it. He's got to watch what he says. That there's pressure on those guys. That's why they make a lot of money. That's why they ascend to that position.
Do you think he'll give just like a long open statement with very few questions?
Good question.
Do you know, remember Kevin Warren?
Yeah.
I mean, he would give like a long word salad opening statement address.
Super long.
I mean, it was the word salad among words, like to the point where like, what are we talking about here?
You being a major Kevin Warren fan, of course, we're listening intently. Right?
I turned to you. I remember we were sitting by each other and I go, what's going on here? Then there's like, oh, sorry, we only got time for 2 questions. And they're like,
what's going on here?
They're like planted questions.
Yep. There's plants. There was planted questions. We better be careful of that. They seem planted. That's what we'll say.
So we'll see where this goes. But Golden Steer Tuesday night.
Wow. And what are you suggesting? The ribeye?
Well, yeah, we have to decide our approach.
Why isn't the approach just to get a sirloin steak?
Get a sirloin, get a ribeye.
Yeah. I feel like a ribeye right now.
A lobster tail.
Yeah. I'm not getting lobster tail.
We could split like the ribeye for 2.
That's where that's what you mean by approach, right?
Right. If we decide to split.
I'd do that.
We've done that before. Yeah. You and I have done that before.
In Michigan State.
It was awesome.
It was. What was that big thing called? Like tomahawk?
Yeah. We had it at Bowdy's Steakhouse.
Tomahawk ribeye in East Lansing. Boy, what a place that was. It seated about what?
30 people, 30, 35 people.
It's like a little room.
And we ate at the bar.
It was a little dark room. Very handsome. And we had a tomahawk ribeye. It was fabulous.
Split it up.
Yep.
All right. Well, see you at the airport.
Sorry, I was multitasking.
I sent you your boarding pass already.
Yes,
I send Sipple boarding passes. I help them out.
Like I'm a 5th grader.
All right. For HuskerOnline headlines, we'll talk to you after Las Vegas. For Steve Sipple, I'm Sean Callahan.